Again, what most are calling mental health and mental health issues are not mental health at all. They're emotional health and emotional health issues. In this part 4 piece, we're giving you examples of how trauma impacts our mental health. Now, while there's always a little bit of overlap with emotional health, as there's a strong emotional component to everything, there's a clear distinction between what's mental and what's emotional. You can refer to our previous post on how trauma impacts emotional health too. The main parts of the brain impacted by trauma are the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is responsible for our fight and flight response. After trauma, it can become oversensitive to external stimuli, misperceiving and mislabeling many non-threatening circumstances as potential threats, and staying constantly activated, on alert, and misfiring. The hippocampus is responsible for learning and storing memories, and also plays a key role in emotional regulation and responding to stress. Studies have shown that those who experience trauma tend to have smaller hippocampal regions than normal. Lastly, the prefrontal cortex is responsible for complex thinking processes, otherwise known as quote-unquote executive functioning. The ability to plan ahead and to consider and weigh out options in order to make good, sound choices. When people are living in a constant state of fight or flight, this part of the brain becomes less active, causing basic survival instincts to take over. Hence why so many trauma survivors are essentially living in a state of survival mode. The brain and the body truly believe that they're not safe and are doing everything to keep us safe, to protect us and, well, keep us alive. It's important to know that these changes in the brain don't necessarily have to be permanent. The brain is incredibly flexible and has the ability to change its structure, neural pathways, and functions over time in response to internal and external stimuli. And this is called neuroplasticity. Now, what does all of this have to do with dogs? Everything. Not only does whatever impacts us directly and indirectly impact them, but dogs experience very similar effects when they've been through trauma, mentally, emotionally, and physically. For example, studies have shown that the symptoms of PTSD are very similar to those in humans, such as chronic separation, social and general anxiety, hypervigilance, decreased interest in activities they once enjoyed, sleep disturbances, aggression and aggressive behaviors, various types of fears, whether it be with certain types of people, places, situations. Now, while dogs don't necessarily live in the past, trauma, again, isn't the event itself. It's the impact the event has on us internally. What happens inside of us as a result of the experience? That's the trauma. Dogs are relationship and association oriented. When it comes to people, they want to know, am I safe with you? Can I trust you? Will you provide for me? Do you have my back? Can I count on you? And they develop associations based on their experiences with certain scents, places and areas, other people, dogs, circumstances, and so on. Understanding all of these things we've been sharing about trauma is critical knowledge when working with behavior, because we're not just working with the dog's behavior, but the humans responsible for the dog as well. And the trauma plays a massive role in the development of what we see in terms of behavior. This is all such important knowledge for any canine behavioral trainer to understand for a few reasons. Number one, They can more accurately and appropriately identify, then address, the contributing and driving ingredients behind problematic behaviors, as well as offset their development. And number 2, they can more effectively work with both ends of the leash, especially since the human end of the leash is a major player in terms of ingredients. Well, if you want to have more information about all of this, please pre-order our upcoming book, The Human End of the Leash, Dog Training's Missing Link. I'm so excited and have been working on it so hard, and I can't wait to get it in your hands. The link is provided in the post.